me. Hang on a minute. There we are. Welcome, everyone. It's Wednesday night again. A few of you here, and we have Instagram on tonight. I wanted to come on especially today because I have my first banned video on TikTok, and so I wanted to talk about that. There's obviously something they don't want to know there, and thankfully, those of you who are on Instagram, I don't know if it was able to post the whole thing or not, but if not, then you'll get to hear the rest of what I was talking about over there. So, since most of the people that watch this are watching it as a recording, we're just going to go ahead and get started, and we'll catch all of the other people up as they join in. So, some things that are banned on TikTok. We're going to be talking about money and about this Claustrum journey. So, if you haven't heard about that, this is something I'm super excited about. So, on TikTok today, I shared a video that was on the 3 ways that you energetically push money away. It's obviously unconscious. Nobody would push money away on purpose, right? So, the very first reason is because you have low money vibes, you have a low frequency. This can be calibrated. And the truth of the matter is that it doesn't matter what kind of a website you have. If you have a beautiful website, if you've got great funnels, if you've got a charming personality, none of that matters if you have a low money frequency, because that's all you're going to attract. I don't make the laws. I don't make the law of attraction, but this is a universal law, affects everyone. You attract the energy you emit. And so if you want to attract a different frequency, if you want to attract more money opportunities, rich resources, etc., you need to raise your money frequency. So that's number 1. Number 2 was you often have a crappy relationship with money. So there's a certain way that I work with this in your, I call it your we space, WE. It's a space that is related to your relationship with money. And so if you have a lot of anger and resentment, bitterness, you feel like money lets you down, you can't rely on it, it runs away when you least expect it, then that's going to show up in your money space. And if you're think about money as a friend, would your friend come around and visit if you talk to them the way you talk to money? If you're always mad at this friend, do you think they'd want to come around? If you always, were bummed about this co-creation, then money is not going to show up or be around. And so this is another energy and frequency that can be changed. And then the third thing that I was talking about, the third reason people unknowingly push money away, and it really is not their fault at all. And this is the part that I believe they deleted the video over. So we're going to talk in code. Q will be queen, but it's actually quantum. So, and then F we're going to say is fun, but think financial. And then the last is going to be S, which is, we'll call it SAM, but it's actually system. So when I say queen, fun, SAM, you're going to think of those words I just mentioned. So this system has globally set the energetic frequency of money on the planet. And it's set it at the frequency of 500. Now, on the infinity system scale, that's low. It's not as low as it can go, but it's low. On Dr. David Hawkins' scale, 500 was the vibration of love. But that's like, I love chocolate. So this money at 500 on my scale, the infinity scale, 500 is where you can make enough money, like most people can make enough money but they're always up against that glass ceiling where they know there's more available, but they can't access it. And so that's where this global money is set. Now, some are obviously even below that, and some are above it. That's kind of the default. This can also be changed. And so these are the three main reasons why people generally have a low money frequency. At least the majority of your issues can be addressed with those three things. And so that's why I was inviting people to our monthly luminary activation, which is tomorrow. We do it once a month. And the theme this month, well, it's about money, but I'm trying to read the exact title. Oh, shoot. Aligned. Hang on. This is important. It's too far away. I can't see it. Aligned. There we go. Sorry. Align to thrive, activating quantum prosperity codes. So we're connecting this to our quantum self. I'm getting a little brain fart here. We're going to be aligning this to this new part of ourselves. I call it the umbrella. I don't know why I'm having a total brain fart about this, but it'll come to me. So anyway, these are the main reasons why we struggle with money, and it can all be addressed. And so in this, our oversoul, that's what I was thinking. So oversoul prosperity codes. Tomorrow, for the first time, and I've already been doing this with our 12-day program, so I know it has amazing results. So for the first time, we're going to be connecting our oversoul, which is the highest aspect of ourselves. Like, I kind of visualize it like an umbrella, and that stem is our fractal of it's a fractal lifetime here. So it's just a fractal of what all of our self is. And so we're projected down into this lifetime as just a fractal of what's possible. But if we're connected to that oversoul, we have all of those possibilities available. Our highest timeline, our most prosperous self, abundant, and this oversoul already knows how to be abundant. It is abundant. And so this is what we've been doing over these 12 days. That program already started, but we've been practicing how to align to all of this. So I'm super excited. Tomorrow, we are going to be raising money frequencies. We're going to be aligning your oversoul to this, to your money frequency. And it's going to be super fun and amazing. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. And I hope you can join us. If you'd like to join us, you can always just go to my website, which is myname.com. And hang on, it's right here. And you'll find there the monthly luminary activation. So you can find it there on my website. And so I'm curious who is here today. We have Instagram on as well. So you guys can type in there where you've called in from, and we can honor that. So we have Minnesota. Welcome, Catherine. And anybody else willing to speak up? All right. Well, that's okay. Not a problem. One other thing I wanted to talk about, and then we can entertain your questions. So I was offering to measure or calibrate your money frequency, if that's what you're interested in, and certainly can check that out. Welcome, Margaret from Wyoming. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was this claustrum. So that's different than colostrum, which is in mother's breast milk. Claustrum is a very small part of the brain that is, there's a lot of misinformation about this. So That's why I wanted to set the record straight about a few things. Welcome from Atlanta. Yes, we'll calibrate your money frequency in a little bit, Gigi. We'll do whoever wants to know. But this claustrum is very important, and there's very little information known about it. It's kind of been kept secret because it is believed to have a big part in our consciousness. And of course, the powers that were don't want us to be conscious. They don't want us to be connected. And the more they can keep us divided, the more that we're not going to thrive and create solutions, etc. So this very small part of our brain, some think that it secretes a fluid or an oil, this holy oil that gets secreted. I've discovered it's not really a fluid at all. It's really more of an essence. This is a bundle of neurons. And from my research and my inquiry to spirit, I'm getting that what these neurons do is they program and imprint into the spinal fluid and thus into the whole nervous system how it should be operating. And so if that's not functioning properly, when it takes this journey, it takes a journey from the claustrum all the way down the spine and then back up again. And so there's been lots of ideas about how long this journey takes. Some people say it takes a month, some 12 days, some 21 days. And so not really much research done on it. So I wanted to find out for myself, like what's true? What is true about this claustrum? So I started tracking it by, I had this on my board for a long time to get information about it and nothing was coming. So finally Spirit said, well, why don't you just ask your claustrum, right? Ask your higher self. And so I did, and it said to check. So I used my hand to check along the spinal column to see if I could tell where it was. Nothing on the downside, but when I was coming up, I found it in the second chakra. So I decided to follow it for the following days, and every day it was moving up higher and higher and higher over the next few days until it finally landed about the bridge of my nose and settled right about here, which I thought initially was in the sixth chakra, but it wasn't. It was back to this area called the claustrum. And it rested there for 5 days. The first time that I went through the cycle, I didn't track how much it was increasing by percentage, but I'm starting to do that. I did that this round. So it rested here for 5 days before it started taking its journey back down the spinal column and then back up again. And what I discovered is that it took a total of 19 days from the time it started, but from the time it reached back up to the claustrum, all the way down and back up again took a total of 19 days. So 5 of those days was spent resting. So the journey actually took 2 weeks, 14 days up and down, back up to the claustrum. So what Spirit has guided me to tell you, all of you, is that this claustrum, like so many parts of our body, can be programmed. And it's much like if you were, even if, like, say it were a fluid, if it were an oil, I don't think it is, but say it is, you can program it just like water. You can program water, you can put your intentions into it. And so Spirit was guiding that now that it's up to 100%. So today is the fifth day. I think today is the 5th day. It arrived on 4th day. It's the 4th day. It arrived on the 31st. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's on its 4th day. So I think there's one more day. There's one more day where it will be resting in the claustrum, gaining its momentum or its full capacity before it starts on this journey again. So during this time that it's reached its full capacity in the claustrum is when we want to program this essence or fluid, if it is a fluid, I don't think it is, but to program this essence with how we want it to interact with our field as it's going through all of our nervous system. So if you're familiar with the vertebrae or chiropractic, you know that each of those vertebrae and the nerves that branch off of the spinal column, they all go to different parts of the body, different body organs, systems, etc. And it all passes through the neck and it goes up to the brain, including the claustrum. So my thoughts and intentions as far as spirit is guiding is that we program how we want our body to function. So maybe there's things that you need health wise. Maybe your metabolism is off, or maybe your digestion or your immune system, or you have whatever it is. So you can program the claustrum with how you do want your system to operate and run. And then as this claustrum is taking its journey, it's helping us to be more mindful and focused on that part of the body so that we can more intentionally work with this fluid essence, whatever it is, to support our body systems and body organs. So to me, it's kind of like, working with a vision board. A vision board is really more about helping to keep us focused. And so if if we can tell, I can tell, but if you can tell where the claustrum is on that journey, then you can focus more on those parts of the body. So I'm excited about this. This is an exploration. It's a journey. It's an experiment. I have no idea what I'm going to find, but I have discovered a few things. So initially, people were saying that, like, my question was, well, how do you know when it starts? When does this journey start? And they were saying it starts when the moon enters your sun sign every month. So that didn't really add up to the numbers I was getting, for one. And two, I started checking where I was against, like, the people in my 12-day program. We're all at the same place. And I noticed on last week when I was checking this with some of you here that those who weren't grounded, they had no grounding cord, they were maybe 3 or 4 vertebrae behind the rest of us who were more aligned. So to me, it makes more sense, and to me, it's more exciting that we're all, those who are of us who are aligned, connected to our oversoul, etc., are going on the same journey every month, which means that we can start creating more of a cohesive oneness of mind as we are doing this journey. And maybe you can just feel or tell the momentum that can happen with that if more people are tuned into that. So maybe that's another reason why that video was banned. TikTok is kind of a funny territory. They will let you, they will let people scam your videos, copy them, duplicate them, and then try to scam other people, saying that, come, would you like a reading and give a donation? And it's not you, but they don't go after those people. It's just nuts, crazy land. So anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today, Claustrum. And so you've never heard of Claustrum. Okay, good. So that's no surprise. Yeah, they want to keep it a secret. Let's see what kind of comments and questions we have tonight. Welcome, Indiana, Atlanta, Sabrina, and Escondido, my neighbor. All right. Gigi wants her money frequency calibrated. So just know this is a public platform, And so when you are asking me a question, you're giving me permission to look at things and to tell you things. Um, so Gigi, your money frequency is set at 500. So that means you can, make enough money, but there's always more. Like you're pushing up against that glass ceiling. So you're matching the Queen Frank Sam system that has set the global frequency. Um, welcome, Margaret, or Marquette. Is that who you say? Okay, you'd love to know your money frequency. Okay, so it's 250. That's low. And so you're likely someone who struggles with money. Or if you get a windfall, it bleeds out the back door and hard to get ahead. Just maybe it's always been a struggle. Okay, Irish gold. And so let me know if this is accurate or not. I'm usually accurate, but let me know if you if you resonate. All right, Irish gold. I would like to know a calibration, please. So also at 250, so that is low. And Ravina, also low at 250. And Baruch, I'd like to see where my money frequency is. And also if I got those portals closed. Okay, 250, Brooke. And the portals, there's still 3 open. So yeah, be sure to clear the dead people out before you close the door. Okay. So those of you who do have a low money frequency, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow on the luminary activation. We meet once a month, and it's amazing. You're going to feel so much lighter. And if you want to kind of get an idea of what we would be doing, you can always download my free 20-minute meditation on my website, KimberlySherry.com. And you can get an idea of what we're going to do, but we're adding the money frequency to it and then aligning it to the oversoul, which we've not done before, at least not publicly on our luminary activation. We're doing it right now in another program, but so I'm super excited about it. Sounds a little like the energy they move in Tai Chi or Western medicine energy flows. That would be different than the claustrum. The claustrum takes a specific journey with or without us. All of Tai Chi and Western medicine, well, Tai Chi is a body movement. Eastern medicine, that definitely affects our chi, which is our energy, which we all have. But that's different from this claustrum, which takes a very specific journey down the spinal column and back up again every 19 days. So at least that's the initial assessment. We've only gone through one cycle of this. That's how new this is. All right. Yes, it resonates. You were accurate. I need the class you're going to do tomorrow. What time is it? It's at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So you can go to my website here at KimberlySherry.com and just scroll down to Luminary Activation. And there's just a one-time entrance fee, $49. That's really nothing considering the effects it can have, especially if you maintain this. So that would be great. What other questions do we have? Let's see if Instagram is posting any questions over here. Nothing. I see quite a few of you over here, but no questions. And I know you guys can ask questions because I've seen it happen before. Polly, thanks for joining. Congratulations on your weight loss, by the way. Okay. So, yeah, let me know on Instagram what your questions are. Okay, so coming back to YouTube, I would like my money frequency calibration. All right, Sandra, 250, also struggling with money. Yeah, it's hard to get ahead and gain any momentum with that low money frequency. It's so frustrating. What are some people that are involved with a lot of low frequency, very rich? Well, yeah, it is an interesting thought, isn't it? So, there's a lot of people who basically sell their soul to the devil, and they're doing the devil's dirty work. A lot of people in Hollywood, etc., um, who have all been involved in all those dark things, and so that can happen for sure. And even wealthy people who have figured out how to make a lot of money, they can still have a low money frequency, which would mean that then they're always worried about money. No matter how much money they have, they're always afraid of somebody stealing it, or they're going to lose it, or they have to hoard it, or something along those lines. So it's an interesting phenomenon for sure. Thanks for asking that, Brooke. All right, Sabrina, let's check your money frequency. 500. So, yes, you're at that glass ceiling. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, good. And my daughter Nisa says, well, does she have to be on live? The recording is available. You can share the recording with her. So there's that possibility. When you come on live, however, you're bringing your frequencies, you're bringing your essence, so that's the contribution to the whole pool. And so it's easier to connect with what's going on when it's live. However, the recordings are still 95% accurate. Not accurate, but as effective. That's what I was looking for. All right, Shelley, do I have any cords in my stomach? You do not. Great job moving all that out. All right. Nobody on Instagram with questions. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else have questions? Okay, here we go. Anne, I am curious this evening what my money frequency is. After our work today, I can feel things coming up. I'm wondering where I am versus where I think I am. Yes, Anne, so that's a good question. You are at 500, same as Sabrina. And that is where the Queen Frank Sam has set the global money system. So we'll see you tomorrow and get that corrected, galactivated. We're going to galactivate you. Aloha, Sandy. Yeah, so one way is to well, when you join tomorrow, you're going to see all of the energies that are in the way of you actually being able to raise these frequencies. So there's a lot of interference. There's a lot of energies that don't want you to be successful with money, to be thriving. They need for you to be struggling. That's how they keep energetically fed through everyone's suffering and anger and fury. And if you could be angry with money, all the better for them. So the way that you maintain it is to run your energy every day, for one, and draining the energies out of your money frequency that are bringing it down. So on the call tomorrow, you'll see what all those possibilities are, and we will be removing the energies that are bringing the money frequency down. It could be your parents, even if they're dead, like their beliefs could still be in your money pile. Maybe your kids have their hands deep in your pockets. Maybe an ex is still, trying to keep you in a suffering mode, or there could be a lot of reasons. So we're going to clear all those tomorrow. And yeah, and that's the beginning of changing everything, because you will never get ahead if you've got low money frequency. Numero uno. Shelley would love to know my money frequency. I spent the whole day addressing my finances. 500, 500, Shelley. Okay, good. I'm looking forward to being galactivated. Me too. Woohoo! Meet you tomorrow. Okay, Sandra. Let's see. Where'd you go? Will you run tomorrow's program again? No. Um, no, this is it's kind of like, every month is completely different. Even if it's on the same topic, it's going to be different. Different people show up, different energies are there to be cleared. So if you show up tomorrow, it's because it's meant to be, and you're going to see why all the interference. It's really unbelievable that you don't know what you don't know, and the controlling mechanisms that are in our field, unbeknownst to us, it's invisible. We have no idea that these things are controlling us. Black boxes and these energy cords from this dark AI influence, ancient interference. It just goes on, curses on our money. It just goes on and on. You'll see tomorrow, and it's fascinating. I never cease to be fascinated by all of this. Yeah, so let's see what else. So there's on my website, you can go to here, my website, and just scroll down to the luminary activation, and we'll meet you there tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Let's see if no questions on Instagram. Okay, guys, you guys could be asking, what's my money frequency? I'll let you know. I don't need to know your real name. We can go by your handles. Okay, we have a couple more comments here. Marquette, do I have my grounding cord? It seems so difficult to keep. You do not, yeah. And you're also not connected to your oversoul. You're only connected like 15%. So that's another thing we're going to be doing tomorrow is we're connecting everyone to their oversoul, the part of you that knows how to be abundant, wealthy, prosperous, in high frequency. It is your highest potential. And for some, that might be a bit much. Like from where you are right now to aligning to that might like be a big stretch, might put you in a growth period, might put you in a healing crisis. I have no idea. But just know that whatever's coming out is what's keeping you down. So it's stuff that's all got to come out. $49 is the one-time entrance fee. And there is a possibility you could join the subscription, which is the whole month of 2025 for $333. That's like getting 5 months for free. So you can listen to all of the previous activations for the whole year of 2025 and on all kinds of things that have been amazing. And you guys can, those of you who have been going, you can attest to that. We've connected to our oversoul. I can't even remember all of them, but all amazing things. So you can check it out. And if you want to do that, that'll give you the whole year for only $333. We are considering eliminating that program, the subscription, just because it's been a little bit challenging to keep track of everybody, because we often include the luminary activation in the 12-day program, throws things off, and it's hard to keep track of. So if you're interested in doing the annual subscription, you can get the entire year of activations all on a recording. You could just binge watch. So we are coming up on some eclipses. We're getting into eclipse season. So in Saturday or Sunday, there's a lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse. And then 2 weeks later, we have a solar eclipse. So big energies all related to the support we need to eclipse or to cut out of our life, the things that are not working. So might as well work in harmony with these energies instead of fighting it and working against it. You can have these energies work on your behalf. So that's really good. All right, Daily Muse wants to know, what's my money frequency? Daily Muse, 250. Yeah, so that's low. That's why you're struggling. And Sandy, 500. That's interesting. All of you guys are at 500. Back to the QFS. Greetings, Dusty Blue. Do you have a question? Okay, we'll come over here and check on Instagram. Yes, finally, somebody found the comments. Okay, good. Do you have a question? Parallel Realities Pulse. Okay, I'll come back. Now that you found it, maybe you can tell everyone where the chat is so that they can also chat. Because I have I don't have a clue. All right, what else do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, this whole money piece has been pretty fascinating. So some of you may not know, my money story. Like maybe you think that I was born into money or that I have a lot of money, and I am certainly I'm not a millionaire, but I'm about to fly to South Africa for 3 weeks for my birthday, first class both ways. So that's a first and something I can say I feel proud about. And but I was not born into a wealthy family. Grew up on welfare, government cheese, hand-me-down clothes, and it was a real struggle in a religious cult that forbade anything nice and material. Having a nice car and things like that was considered materialistic. So that was really frowned on. I also had parents from the Depression. My dad clipped coupons until he died. So yeah, I grew up with really deep programs around lack and abundance, and money being the root of all evil, et cetera, et cetera. So I've done a lot of clearing, reprogramming around money and how it works. And when I first started my book, that was my book, Access Your Ultimate Power, the Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence. That was one of the first things that this system, the Infinity System, addressed was money frequency. That was one of the first things I discovered with this Infinity System, is that, wow, you can calibrate money. You can raise the frequency of money. And I had clients that started making more money than I did. I mean, when I first discovered this, it seems like after just a week of raising my frequencies, I made $6,000. It seemed like overnight. But there's no guarantees about what you're going to do. I have no idea the effort or your abilities to be able to create and shift energies, but massive amounts of shifts for a lot of people. I remember this one guy that I was working with over the phone, and we just did a raising his money. Same thing we're going to be doing tomorrow. And before we even finished out the phone, he told me he had gotten a text, and he was down to his last 2 nickels he was rubbing together, and his mouth just dropped open, and he said, somebody just deposited $50 in my account. And then it was within the next day or two that he got an email from a client project he'd been trying to get for months, like 3 months or something. And it was tens of thousands of dollars in this contract. The very first person I started working with internationally was a woman in Switzerland who first came to me with 3 coaching clients and kids with runny noses who were sick all the time. And I think her husband was a police officer, a fireman, something like that. And she started this whole thing. Well, the long and the short of it was she ended up buying the house that they were paying rent for, a brand new car. She ended up making over $3 million in a year. And we lost touch over COVID. So I don't really know how she's doing now, but I I've noticed her money frequencies are struggling, so it makes me curious. But we worked together for a long time, very consistently. So yeah, good results. Good results there. Um, any more questions? Okay, yay, we've got a question. Thank you, Parallel Realities. And if you can let everybody know how they can get onto the chat, would be great. What energies do we need to do to maintain and grow so money is more consistently coming in? So there's lots of parts to this. So number one is you have to have a high money frequency because that's what you're going to attract. There's other reasons why. If you're not aligned with this money in every single one of your chakras, then that's not alignment. So the money's not going to flow easily and effortlessly. There is a giving. So our right arm gives. That's the energy of giving. Our left hand receives. That's how the circle of reciprocity starts at the heart, comes out the right arm in the left. If this left hand is blocked, you're not receiving. That's another reason why and how money gets blocked. There's lots of parts to this, and we're going to address all of it tomorrow. So I hope you'll consider joining us. Yeah, there and most of what's stopping you is not even you. These dark energies of the I call it AI, but ancient interference. They have a lot of control mechanisms and energies that block your flow, your money flow. So many systems. You'll see tomorrow all the places that they block, because we're also going to create an avatar for your relationship with money, and then all new energies show up that's blocking this relationship so that you can have a co-creative space with money. You can it becomes your friend instead of this thing that you resent and are always angry with and frustrated by, instead of being excited about it and grateful and thankful for all it does for you, etc. So yeah, changing your money relationship is a whole nother thing. Okay, it says follow Kimberly Sherry, then tap on the icon, then you can post on the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you so much, Parallel Realities. I'd love to see anybody else that wants to know. So it says follow Kimberly Sherry, then tap on the icon, and then you can post on the bottom right-hand corner. All right, great. I'll come back and see who else has a question. All right, let's see what else we have got going on here. Dusty Blue. Okay, for me, is healing the pattern throughout generation scarcity. What does that mean? For me, is healing the pattern throughout generations scarcity. I think you're asking if this scarcity pattern is something that's generational. It can very, very well be. That is another aspect to this that we've also been working on over these 12 days. There's a lot of parts to clear, and it may not all come out in one clearing, but you got to start somewhere. I came into this lifetime as an adoptee, which seems to learn and heal such. Yes. Yeah. So likely your original parents put you up for adoption because they couldn't afford to take care of you. And so that imprint is in your field. Yes. Marquette, why is my grounding cord not able to stay with me? In your case, Marquette, as I mentioned before, you're not connected to your oversoul. And so now we're using our oversoul to clear these darker energies. In your case, you've got those 20 AI cords at your root chakra. And so that has to be cleared so that your grounding is more likely to stick. Yeah. And so when you guys, join us for these live luminary activations, the idea is not to just come there and get your house clean. Yeah, you can do that, but that's not gonna you'll never be empowered that way if you always give your power away to someone else. Here, clean my house, clean my energy field, take care of this, and so I can have a better life. It actually doesn't quite work like that, just so you know. um, if you're not actively participating and learning and following along, um, if you tend to be someone that just like wants to turn it over to somebody else, then it's probably best if you not show up, because I'm more interested in teaching you how to master your own energy so that you're not the victim of these ongoing energies all the time, that you can empower yourself and not be dependent on me. My goal is to teach you guys how to do this for yourself. And so that's really what I'm doing for an entire hour, is teaching you how to go through a process that's going to help you maintain a higher frequency. And then it's up to you to continue to maintain it. There's only so much I can do for you, but in the long run, it's really up to you to do the work. And so those are the people who are thriving the most now, the ones who are really taking responsibility for their life and their outcome, no longer being the victim. And they're not waiting for a savior. They're not waiting for Jesus to come, or the next president, or the next extraterrestrial or whatever to save the planet. The people who are thriving the most now are the ones who realize that we create our own reality. And if we're going to keep waiting for a savior, then we're going to be waiting a long time. So I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and it was the saying, "Armageddon, tired of waiting." we were tired of waiting for Armageddon. So yeah, I know all about waiting for a savior, and it's just really so much better when you take your personal power back and start, creating your own outcome. Well, this for me to tell you would be kind of useless. I actually really already did, but so it's better for you to really learn and actually experience the difference, because Marquette, I told you that you don't have an oversoul, so that needs to come in, and that oversoul energy is what can remove these AI cords. You can also do it with your imagination. So beyond that, I'd say come and experience it for yourself so you know exactly what we're talking about. If I cleared my money pile. Great job, Sandy. It's at infinity. Great. So this is a student. And so she knows the tools, and she knows how to change her frequency. So that was an easy demonstration. Thank you, Sandy, to demonstrate how quickly and easily someone can clear their energy when they know what they're doing, when they've been given the tools and then they know how to use them. So yay. Thanks for demonstrating that, Sandy. Okay. No more questions on Instagram. Okay. Well, we're getting close to wrapping this up. So if you guys have a burning question, now is the time to ask. Yeah. Yes, Sandy says, trust me, Kimberly's methods work. They do. They do work. If they work if you work it, right? Okay. Great. Okay, great. Well, look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Marquette. Great. And anybody else who's tired of struggling with all this money stuff, if the global frequency has been set at a certain threshold, that's where you're matching. Most people are matching that frequency of 500, and some less at 250. Those are the ones who are really struggling, and we can break through all of that. We're no longer under the thumb of this Queen Frank Sam system. So, all right. If there's no more questions, I am going to bid my adieu and see you tomorrow. So last call. Here is my website for you to join tomorrow. Just scroll down to the luminary activation and sign up there. Be sure to pre-register. So the link will be in the welcome page to call in. All right. I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. Do we have one more? Yeah. And Sandy will see us this evening for our advanced program, that advanced 12-day program. So the rest of you, I hope we'll see you tomorrow so you can stop struggling with money. All right. Blessings. Until we meet again, keep asking my favorite question. How? How does it get any better than this? Then stay in that blissful question of, I wonder. All right. Blessings.